Jake Morrison pushed his cleaning cart down the long metal hallway of Nexus Prime Station. The wheels made a soft squeaking sound that echoed off the walls. He wore simple blue work clothes and carried a toolbox that looked old and worn. To anyone watching, he was just another human doing basic work. The station was huge. It floated in space near a giant gas planet that glowed purple and blue. Inside the station, hundreds of different aliens worked on important science projects. They came from all over the galaxy to study and learn new things. Jake stopped at a water fountain and began to clean it. Two tall aliens walked by. They had blue skin and 4 arms each. These were Zephyrians, and they thought they were very smart. "Look at that human," one said to the other. "Still cleaning the same spot he cleaned yesterday." "Humans are so simple," the other replied. "Good for cleaning toilets, but nothing else. Their brains are too small for real work." Jake kept cleaning. He had heard this kind of talk many times before. The aliens always spoke like he was not there or could not understand them. But Jake understood every word. He also understood many other alien languages that he had never told anyone about. Dr. Crixtel walked up to the water fountain. He was the head scientist on the station. He had gray skin and large black eyes. He was very proud and thought humans were stupid animals. "Human," Dr. Crixtel said in a loud voice. "This fountain is still dirty. Do your job better." Jake looked up. "Yes, sir. I will clean it again." "See that you do. Humans must work harder if they want to stay on this station. We only keep you here because someone has to do the dirty work." Dr. Crixtal walked away. Jake went back to cleaning, but his eyes were sharp and watching. He noticed how Dr. Crixtal walked, where he went, and who he talked to. Jake noticed many things that the aliens thought he was too dumb to see. Later that day, Jake was fixing a broken pipe in the lower level of the station. This was where the big machines worked to keep everyone alive. The aliens never came down here. They thought it was beneath them. Jake opened his toolbox. Inside were normal tools like hammers and wrenches, but hidden under a false bottom were other things, strange devices that looked nothing like regular tools. A small computer that could hack into any system, communication equipment that could reach across the galaxy, weapons that could stop an alien 3 times his size. Jake pulled out a regular wrench and started working on the pipe. But while he worked, he was also doing something else. A tiny device on his belt was scanning the station's computer systems. It was learning about every door, every camera, every weapon the station had. Commander Christek 9 came down to check on the work. He was made of living crystal and stood 9 feet tall. His voice sounded like rocks grinding together. "Human, how long will this repair take?" "About 2 hours, sir," Jake said. He kept his voice simple and slow, like he was thinking hard about basic things. "Hurry up. We have important work to do on this station. Your delays cost us time." "Yes, sir, I will work faster." The commander left. Jake smiled to himself. If only these aliens knew what he was really doing down here. While they thought he was just fixing pipes, Jake was actually learning everything about their station. He knew where every important room was. He knew all their security codes. He knew which aliens were in charge and which ones were scared. That evening, Jake went to his small room. It was in the worst part of the station, where all the human workers lived. The aliens gave them the smallest rooms with the oldest furniture. They thought humans did not deserve better. Jake sat on his bed and looked around his room. To anyone watching, it looked like the room of a simple cleaning man. Old clothes hung on hooks. A few pictures of Earth sat on a small table. Everything looked normal and poor. But Jake's room had secrets. Hidden behind a loose wall panel was equipment that would amaze the smartest alien scientists. Computers more advanced than anything on the station. Communication devices that could talk to other humans across the galaxy. Information files about every alien species and their weaknesses. Jake opened a hidden panel and pulled out a small device. It looked like a simple music player, but when he turned it on, it connected him to a secret network that reached across space. "This is Cleaner 7, Jake spoke quietly into the device. "Daily report ready." A voice came back through the device. "Go ahead, Cleaner 7. Station defenses are still weak on the lower levels. Alien crew shows no suspicion. Dr. Krickstall is working on new energy weapons. Commander Kristek-9 is planning to expand the station next month. Understood. Any signs of Shadowkin activity in your sector? Jake paused. The Shadowkin were dangerous aliens who attacked and destroyed research stations. The other aliens were afraid of them, but they did not know how to fight them properly. No direct signs yet, but long-range sensors show some strange readings 3 days ago. Could be nothing. Could be scouts. Keep watching. If the Shadowkin come to your station, you know what to do. Yes. Ghost protocol is ready. The connection ended. Jake put the device away and closed the hidden panel. Tomorrow he would go back to cleaning floors and fixing pipes. The aliens would continue to think he was just a simple human who was good for basic work and nothing else. But Jake Morrison was not simple. He was a trained soldier with 20 years of experience. He was an expert in weapons, computers, and fighting. He spoke 12 alien languages and knew the weak points of every major species in the galaxy. Most importantly, Jake was not alone. There were hundreds of other humans like him on stations and planets across the galaxy. They all pretended to be simple workers. They all let the aliens think humans were stupid and weak. This was humanity's greatest trick. While the aliens looked down on humans and thought they were superior, humans were quietly watching and learning and preparing. When the time came to act, the aliens would learn that they had been very wrong about humans. Jake turned off his light and went to sleep. Tomorrow would be another day of cleaning and fixing and pretending to be simple. But he was ready for whatever might come. He was always ready. 3 days later, Jake was cleaning the main control room when the first alarm sounded. It was a soft beeping that most people would ignore. But Jake knew what it meant. The long-range sensors had found something. He kept mopping the floor and watched the alien crew work at their stations. Dr. Krickstall was looking at a big screen that showed space around the station. His forearms moved quickly over the controls. "What is that signal?" Dr. Krickstall asked out loud. A young Zephyrian scientist named Veltar looked at her computer. "The sensors show ships moving toward us, sir. But they are still very far away." "How many ships?" "Hard to tell. The readings keep changing. Maybe 5 ships. Maybe 50. Commander Kristek-9 walked into the control room. His crystal body made clicking sounds as he moved. "What is the problem?" "Unknown ships approaching our position," Dr. Krickstall said. "They will reach us in 6 hours. Jake moved his mop closer to the main computer station. While he cleaned, he was also listening to everything. More importantly, a small device hidden in his cleaning supplies was copying all the information from their computers. Commander Kristek-9 studied the screen. "Send them a message. Ask them to identify themselves." Veltar tried to send a message. She waited. Then she tried again. "No answer, sir. They are not talking to us." Jake finished cleaning that section and moved to another part of the room. He could see the worry starting to show on the alien faces. They were beginning to understand that these ships might not be friendly. 2 hours passed. The unknown ships got closer. Now the sensors could see them better. What they saw made everyone afraid. "Shadowkin ships," whispered Veltar. 5 big warships and 20 smaller attack ships. The control room became very quiet. Everyone knew about the Shadowkin. They were aliens who lived in the dark parts of space. They attacked research stations and took all the technology. They killed everyone they found and left nothing behind. Dr. Krickstall's skin turned pale blue, which meant he was scared. "Contact Fleet Command. Tell them we need help right now." "I am trying, sir," said another scientist. "But something is wrong with our communications. I cannot reach anyone." Commander Kristek-9 moved to the main control panel. His crystal fingers typed quickly. "The Shadowkin are using quantum inhibitors. They are blocking all our long-range communications. We cannot call for help." "What about faster-than-light travel?" Dr. Krickstall asked. "Can we evacuate the station?" "No. The inhibitors also stop faster-than-light engines. Nothing can leave this area until the Shadowkin turn off their machines." Jake continued cleaning. But now he was listening very carefully. The situation was getting worse. The aliens were starting to panic, but they were not thinking clearly. They were scientists, not soldiers. They did not know how to fight. "What weapons do we have?" Commander Christek 9 asked. "Our shields are very strong," said Veltar. "They are designed to stop space rocks and radiation. We also have some mining lasers that could be used as weapons." "Mining lasers against Shadowkin warships?" Dr. Krixtal shook his head. "That is like fighting a dragon with a stick." More alarms started ringing. The Shadowkin ships were now close enough to see with regular sensors. They looked like giant black insects with wings made of metal. Each warship was twice the size of Nexus Prime Station. "All non-essential personnel report to evacuation stations," Commander Christek 9 announced over the station speakers. "This is not a drill. We are under attack." Jake watched the aliens run around in fear. Some were crying, others were trying to pack their important research. They all looked lost and confused. None of them seemed to have a real plan. But Jake had a plan. He had been preparing for this day for 3 years. He quietly left the control room and walked to his maintenance station. Other human workers were there, looking scared. But Jake noticed that a few of them were not really scared. They were watching him, waiting for orders. "Listen carefully," Jake said in a low voice. "Operation broken. Arrow is now active. You all know what that means." The other humans nodded. These were not really maintenance workers either. They were all soldiers just like Jake. They had been pretending to be simple workers while they prepared for this exact situation. "Lisa, go to Power Station 3. When I give the signal, you know what to do." Lisa Chen was a small woman who had been working as a cook in the station cafeteria, but she was really an expert in explosives and computer systems. "Understood. Ben, get to the communication center. Start working on breaking through their inhibitors." Ben Torres had been fixing air conditioning units for 2 years, but he was really a specialist in electronic warfare. "On my way. Everyone else get to your assigned positions. Remember, we wait for Ghost Protocol. Do not act until I give the word." The humans scattered to different parts of the station. To anyone watching, they just looked like scared workers trying to find safe places to hide. Jake went back to his room and opened his hidden panel. Inside was equipment that no alien on the station had ever seen, Earth technology that was 50 years ahead of anything the other species had built. He put on a communication device that looked like a simple earphone. "This is Cleaner 7 to all ghost units in Sector 12. Shadowkin attack is beginning. Repeat, we are now under attack." Voices came back from across the galaxy. Other humans on other stations, all pretending to be simple workers, all ready to fight. Cleaner 12 standing by. Cleaner 23 ready. Cleaner 41 in position. Jake smiled. The aliens thought humans were weak and stupid. The Shadowkin thought this would be an easy attack on a defenseless research station. They were all about to learn how wrong they were. But first, Jake had to wait. The time was not right yet. He needed the Shadowkin to get closer. He needed them to think they were winning. Only then would Ghost Protocol show them the truth about humans. Outside the station, the black Shadowkin ships moved closer like hungry wolves. Inside the station, the aliens ran around in panic. And in the middle of it all, Jake Morrison got ready to show the galaxy what humans could really do. The first Shadowkin attack hit the station like thunder. The lights went out for 3 seconds, then came back on dim and red. Emergency alarms screamed from every wall. Jake felt the floor shake under his feet. The Shadowkin were testing the station's shields with their weapons. Soon they would start the real attack. In the control room, the aliens were running around like scared animals. Dr. Krixtal was shouting orders that no one could hear over the alarms. Commander Christek 9 was trying to make the shields stronger, but his crystal hands were shaking. "Shields down to 70%, Veltar called out. "They are using some kind of acid beam that eats through our defenses. How long can we hold?" Commander Christek 9 asked. "Maybe 1 hour, maybe less." Another blast hit the station. This time the lights stayed off for 10 seconds. When they came back on, sparks were flying from broken computers. Jake walked calmly through the halls while everyone else was running and screaming. He had his cleaning cart with him just like always. But now he was not really cleaning. He was going to a place that the aliens did not know existed. He stopped at what looked like a normal maintenance panel on level 5. It was the same kind of panel he had cleaned hundreds of times, but this panel was special. Jake had been working on it secretly for 3 years. Jake looked around to make sure no one was watching. Then he put his hand on the panel. It looked like he was just touching it, but actually he was letting it scan his fingerprints and check his DNA. A quiet voice came from inside the panel. Identity confirmed. Lieutenant Colonel Jake Morrison, Human Intelligence Division, Service Number 7749 Delta Alpha. The panel opened. Behind it was not maintenance equipment, but a computer system that was more advanced than anything else on HFY, the station. The screen glowed with symbols and numbers that would confuse even the smartest alien scientist. Jake began typing on the keyboard. His fingers moved fast and sure. He was not the slow, simple maintenance man anymore. Now he was a trained military officer doing what he was born to do. Computer, activate Ghost Protocol Authorization Code, Omega 77. Ghost Protocol activated. All systems coming online. Estimated time to full activation, 90 seconds. The station shook again as more Shadowkin weapons hit the shields. But Jake did not look worried. He kept typing, bringing online systems that had been hidden and waiting for 3 years. In the power station, Lisa Chen was doing the same thing. She had found her own hidden panel and was activating secret equipment. The other aliens thought she was just a cook, but Lisa was really a computer expert who had graduated first in her class from Earth's best military school. Power systems online, Lisa said into her hidden communicator. Switching to backup fusion reactors, the aliens. Never knew we built them into the station. Ben Torres was in the communication center, working at equipment the aliens had never seen before. While they struggled with their broken radios, Ben was preparing to break through the Shadowkin communication blocking. Electronic warfare suite, ready, Ben reported. I can punch through their inhibitors whenever you give the word. All around the station, other humans were doing the same thing. The woman who cleaned the cafeteria was really a weapons expert. The man who fixed toilets was really a computer hacker. The old man who delivered mail was really a former general who had won 3 wars. For 3 years, they had all pretended to be simple workers while they secretly prepared the station for exactly this kind of attack. Jake finished his work at the hidden computer. All Ghost units, this is Ghost Leader. Phase 1 is complete. Begin Phase 2 in 30 seconds. The station shook harder as the Shadowkin increased their attack. The shields were now down to 40%. In the control room, some of the alien scientists were crying. We are going to die, Dr. Krixtall said. The Shadowkin will kill us all and take our research. There has to be something we can do, Commander Kristek 9 said. But his voice showed that he did not believe it. That was when Jake walked into the control room. He did not look like the same person anymore. His back was straight. His eyes were sharp and focused. He moved like a soldier, not like someone who cleaned floors. Commander Kristek 9, Jake said in a voice that was strong and clear. I need you to step away from the main control panel. All the aliens turned to look at him. They could not believe what they were seeing. The human janitor was giving orders to their commander. What did you say? Dr. Krixtall asked. Human, get back to your cleaning. We do not need you here. Jake ignored Dr. Krixtall. He walked straight to the main control panel. Commander Kristek 9 tried to stop him, but Jake moved faster than any alien expected. In 2 seconds, Jake was standing at the controls. Computer, recognize Lieutenant Colonel Jake Morrison. Transfer all station command to Ghost Protocol. The computer's voice filled the control room. Command transfer approved. All station systems now under Ghost Protocol. Control. The aliens stared in shock. Their own computer was obeying the human janitor. That is impossible, Veltar whispered. Humans do not have the codes for our systems. Jake smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. We have had your codes for 3 years. We have had everything for 3 years. The main screen changed. Instead of showing the Shadowkin ships attacking, it now showed information that made the aliens gasp. Ship designs they had never seen. Weapon systems that were impossible. Technology that was hundreds of years ahead of anything they knew. "What is this?" Commander Christek-9 asked. "This is what humans can really do," Jake said. "This is what we have been building while you thought we were too stupid to understand science." Dr. Krickstall's 4 arms were shaking. "You have been lying to us. All this time you have been lying, not lying, protecting. The galaxy is more dangerous than you know. The Shadowkin are just one threat among many. Humans have been watching and preparing and keeping you safe." Another blast hit the station. The shields were now down to 20%. Jake put his hands on the control panel. "But now it is time to stop hiding. Computer, activate all Ghost Protocol systems. Full defensive mode." All systems activated, switching to Earth technology. "Welcome back to the war, Colonel Morrison. The WO." Lights in the control room changed from red to blue. New displays appeared on every screen. The sound of the engines changed to something deeper and more powerful. Outside the station, hidden weapon systems began to emerge from sections that the aliens thought were just empty storage areas. Shield generators that were 10 times stronger than the old ones came online. Communication arrays that could reach across the galaxy activated. Jake looked at the aliens who had spent 3 years treating him like he was stupid. "Gentlemen," he said, "let me show you how humans really fight." Jake's fingers moved across the control panel like he had been using it his whole life. The aliens watched in amazement as systems they had never seen before came to life all around them. "Ben, break through their communication block now," Jake said into his headset. "Already working on it," Ben's voice came back. "Their inhibitors are strong, but our equipment is stronger. Give me 30 seconds. Outside the station, the Shadowkin ships moved closer. They thought the station was almost defeated. The shields were weak and flickering. It looked like an easy victory, but they did not know what was really happening inside. Jake touched a button on the panel. Immediately, new displays appeared, showing the exact position of every Shadowkin ship. The computer was tracking them, even though they were using their best hiding technology. "How is this possible?" Dr. Krickstall asked. "The Shadowkin have the best stealth systems in the galaxy. No one can see through their cloaking." "No one except humans," Jake said. "We have been studying Shadowkin technology for 20 years. We know all their tricks." Commander Christek-9 looked at the screen. "Those readings show ships that our sensors cannot detect. How many Shadowkin are really out there?" 47 ships total," Jake answered. 25 attack ships, 15 support ships, and 7 command vessels. They brought enough firepower to destroy 10 stations like this one. The alien crew became even more frightened. They had thought 5 ships were bad enough. Now they learned there were 47 ships waiting to kill them. But Jake looked calm and confident. "Computer, show them what we built into their station." The main screen changed again. Now it showed a detailed map of Nexus Prime Station. But this was not the station the aliens thought they knew. This station had hidden rooms, secret weapons, and technology that seemed impossible. For 3 years, every time you thought we were fixing a pipe or cleaning a room, we were actually building this, Jake explained. Hidden fusion reactors that are 5 times more powerful than your old ones. Shield generators using Earth's quantum field technology. Weapons that can punch through any armor. Veltar pointed at the screen with a shaking finger. "That shows weapons in sections that are supposed to be empty storage areas. Not empty anymore," Jake said. "Lisa, bring the defensive grid online." Defensive grid activated. Lisa's voice came through the communicator. "All weapon systems ready to fire." The Shadowkin chose that moment to begin their final attack. All 25 attack ships fired at once. Their weapons were designed to cut through the strongest shields and destroy any target. But when their weapons hit Nexus Prime, something unexpected happened. The station's shields did not break. Instead, they got brighter and stronger. Jake smiled at the confused aliens around him. "Our shields don't just block energy. They absorb it and make themselves stronger. The more the Shadowkin shoot at us, the harder we become to hurt. On the Shadowkin command ship, the alien captain was looking at his screens in confusion. His sensors showed that the research station should have been destroyed by now. Instead, it was still there and seemed to be getting stronger. Fire all weapons, the Shadowkin captain ordered. Destroy that station now. All 47 Shadowkin ships fired together, the space around Nexus Prime filled with deadly energy beams and explosive missiles. It was enough firepower to destroy a small moon, but the station survived. Not only survived, but began to fight back. Hidden panels opened all over the station's surface. Weapons that the aliens had never imagined came out and began firing. These were not the simple mining lasers that the station was supposed to have. These were military weapons designed by Earth's best engineers. Jake's hands moved over the controls like he was playing music. Each button he pressed caused another Shadowkin ship to explode or retreat. Ben, communications are clear now. Send the message to all ghost units in this sector. Message sent, Ben replied. All ghost units are responding. They are ready for coordinated attack. Dr. Krixtal looked at Jake with wide eyes. There are more of you? More humans pretending to be workers on other stations? Hundreds of us, Jake said. On research stations, mining colonies, trade posts, and military bases. Anywhere the galaxy needs protection, humans are there watching and waiting. The main screen showed something that made all the aliens gasp. Other stations and nearby systems were also fighting. Humans who had been pretending to be janitors and cooks and repair workers were all revealing themselves at the same time. The Shadowkin had planned to attack 12 different targets today. They thought it would be easy to destroy defenseless research stations. Instead, they found themselves fighting against coordinated human military technology. Jake opened a communication channel to all the other human operatives. This is Ghost Leader to all units. Execute Battle Plan Zulu 7. Show them what Earth can do. Across the sector, hidden human weapons began firing. Stealth ships that had been disguised as space junk came to life and attacked the Shadowkin from behind. Communication networks that the aliens never knew existed began coordinating perfect military strikes. The Shadowkin captain watched his fleet take heavy losses. These were not weak research stations. This was a trap, and his ships were caught in the middle of it. How is this possible? He asked his crew. The humans are supposed to be the weak species. They cannot have this technology. But they did have it, and they had been planning this moment for decades. Jake coordinated the battle from his control room while the aliens watched in amazement. Ships that should have been impossible to see were tracked perfectly. Weapons that should have been unstoppable were blocked easily. Battle plans that should have worked were defeated completely. Ghost Leader, this is Ghost 23, came a voice from another station. Shadowkin fleet in my sector is retreating. Repeat, they are running away. Ghost Leader, this is Ghost 41. Enemy command ship destroyed. Remaining ships are requesting surrender. Jake nodded with satisfaction. All units accept surrenders but keep weapons ready. Ben, send a message to the Shadowkin fleet commander. Channel open, Ben replied. Jake spoke in the Shadowkin language, which surprised the aliens around him even more. Shadowkin Commander, this is Lieutenant Colonel Jake Morrison of Earth Defense Forces. Your attack has failed. Withdraw your ships now or we will destroy them all. The Shadowkin captain's voice came back, full of fear and confusion. How do you know our language? How do you have this technology? Humans are supposed to be primitive. Humans are full of surprises, Jake answered. You have 30 seconds to begin withdrawal, or we will show you more surprises. The Shadowkin ships began moving away from the station. They had lost 15 ships and accomplished nothing. It was their first major defeat in over 50 years. Jake turned to face the alien crew who had spent 3 years treating him like he was stupid. The immediate danger is over, he said, but now we need to talk. The control room was very quiet after the last Shadowkin ship disappeared into space. The emergency lights had stopped flashing, the alarms had stopped screaming, but the aliens were still staring at Jake like they had never seen him before. Commander Christek 9 was the first to speak. His crystal body made small clicking sounds as he moved closer to Jake. "How long?" he asked. "How long have humans been watching us?" Jake looked at the screens showing space around the station. Everything was peaceful now, but he knew more threats would come someday. "We have been here since before this station was built. We helped design it, actually. Those mining contracts your people signed with Earth, those were covers for our real work." Dr. Crickstall's forearms were still shaking. "You mean every human worker on this station is really a soldier?" "Not everyone," Jake said. "Some are real maintenance workers and cooks, but enough of us are soldiers to protect this place when needed." Veltar looked at her computer screen, which was still showing the amazing human technology. "Why did you hide from us? Why pretend to be simple workers?" Jake sat down in the commander's chair. The aliens did not try to stop him. They were beginning to understand that he had more right to that chair than any of them. "Because you needed to believe we were simple," Jake explained. "If you knew humans were advanced, you would have been afraid of us. You would have tried to fight us or control us. That would have made protecting you much harder." "Protecting us?" Commander Christek 9 asked. "From what?" Jake pressed a button on the control panel. The main screen showed a map of the galaxy. Red dots appeared in many places. Each dot represented a dangerous alien species or a threat that most civilizations did not know about. "The Shadowkin are just one problem," Jake said. "There are the Void Hunters who eat entire planets, the Mind Slavers who control other species with brain parasites, the death machines left over from ancient wars, and dozens of other threats that your scientists have never heard of." The aliens looked at the map in horror. They had thought the galaxy was mostly safe, with only a few dangerous areas to avoid. "Humans have been fighting these threats for over 100 years, Jake continued. "We learned that the best way to protect other species is to let them think they are safe, while we handle the real dangers." Dr. Crickstall walked over to Jake's chair. For the first time in 3 years, he looked at Jake with respect instead of contempt. "We treated you terribly, we called you stupid, we made you clean our toilets." Jake smiled, but it was not an angry smile. "We needed you to treat us that way. If you had been nice to us, you might have paid more attention to what we were doing. The best disguise is to be invisible." Lisa Chen walked into the control room. She was still wearing her cook's uniform, but now she carried a computer tablet that showed she was really a military officer. "Ghost Leader, all systems are secured. The station is fully operational under our control." "Thank you, Major Chen," Jake said. The aliens stared. The woman who had served them food for 2 years was actually a major in the human military. Ben. Torres arrived next, along with 6 other humans who had been working as janitors and repair workers. They all carried equipment that the aliens had never seen before. They all moved like trained soldiers. "Sector communication network is back online," Ben reported. "All other stations are safe. The Shadowkin attack has been completely defeated." Jake nodded. "Send a report to Earth Command. Tell them Ghost Protocol was successful. Also tell them we may need to adjust our cover stories. Some of our people have been exposed." Dr. Crickstall looked confused. "Cover stories? We will need to decide how much truth to tell the galaxy," Jake explained. "For 3 years you believed humans were primitive. Now you know we are more advanced than anyone imagined. That knowledge will spread to other species." Commander Christek 9 thought about this. "What will happen now? Will you take over our station? Will you conquer our worlds?" Jake laughed, and it was a real laugh, not the fake simple laugh he had used as a janitor. "We do not want to conquer anyone. We want to protect everyone, but we might need to change how we do it." He stood up and walked to the big window that looked out into space. "For 100 years, humans have been the galaxy's secret guardians. We have stopped wars before they started. We have destroyed threats before anyone knew they existed. We have kept peace by being invisible." "And now?" Veltar asked. "Now we must decide if it is time to step out of the shadows." The Shadowkin attack today was bigger than usual. Other threats are getting stronger too. Maybe it is time for the galaxy to know that humans are here to help. Dr. Crickstall moved to stand beside Jake at the window. "I want to apologize." We thought we were so much smarter than you. We were arrogant and blind. You were not arrogant, Jake said. You were exactly what we needed you to be. Your research has helped us build better defenses. Your science has made our weapons stronger. Without knowing it, you have been helping us protect the galaxy. Commander Christek 9 joined them at the window. What happens to us now? Do we continue our research? Of course, Jake said. This station is important. Your work matters. But now you will know that humans are here to protect you. You will not have to fear attacks like today's. Jake turned to face all the aliens in the control room. I have a question for you. Now that you know the truth about humans, do you want us to stay? Do you want our protection? The aliens looked at each other. 3 years ago, they would have said no immediately. They had thought humans were beneath them. But now they understood how wrong they had been. Yes, Dr. Krikstal said. We want you to stay. We need you to stay. But no more pretending, Commander Christek 9 added. We want to work with you as equals, not as masters and servants. Jake smiled. I think we can arrange that, but remember, there are hundreds of other human operatives throughout the galaxy who are still maintaining their covers. Their safety depends on keeping our secrets. Ben Torres stepped forward. What about our people who have been exposed? Do we rotate them out? Jake thought about this for a moment. Some of them, yes. But some of us might stay in our new roles. This station could become a test site for open human-alien cooperation. He looked around the control room at the aliens who had spent 3 years treating him like he was stupid. If you are willing to work with us as partners instead of looking down on us as servants, maybe we can build something new here. Dr. Krikstal extended one of his 4 hands to Jake. Partners? Jake shook the alien's hand. Partners. As the two species began to plan their new relationship, Jake thought about all the other human operatives across the galaxy. They were still out there, still pretending to be simple workers, still protecting alien civilizations from threats they never knew existed. Someday, maybe all of them could step out of the shadows. But until then, humans would continue to be the galaxy's invisible guardians, keeping peace through the greatest disguise ever created, appearing weak while being strong.